Thanks for tuning in to another episode of A Closer Look, sponsored by Innovative Solutions. I'm Kendall Reynolds, and I'm here with
Saniyya Townsend.
And we're going to talk a little bit about how she got to Aiken and her story. How did you end up at Aiken and on the Spirit Squad?
So at my high school, USC Aiken actually was there my senior year, and originally I was like, I don't think I want to go, but when I saw how small the school was, and I wanted to go to a small school, I was like, okay. But my first year here, I was not on the Spirit Squad. I joined my sophomore year. My roommate, my freshman year, her name was Abby Grace. She actually told me to try out for the team, and I got in.
Absolutely. And did you cheer throughout your life, or is this something that was new to you?
So no, last year was my first year cheering, but I've been dancing since I was 4.
Okay.
So
yes.
Yeah.
And I understand you're in the Army National Guard. Can you explain to me a little bit what that's like and how you ended up in the National Guard?
So originally when I got out of high school, the plan was not to join the military, but I saw the bill and I was like, okay, it's a lot of money. So I decided to join the military. They've been paying for my college since I was pretty much a freshman. And really, I drill 1 weekend out of the month. I sometimes drill 2 weeks out of the year, but I haven't done it since I've been in the military. I've only been in for about 3 years now.
Okay.
So, yeah, Spirit Squad usually accommodates when I do have drill. Like last weekend we did have a game. I did have drill, and I was late, but I did show up on time for the game. So as long as I communicate, it all works out.
And what does a weekend where you have drill typically look like?
So usually I usually get up at 6. I have to be to West Columbia by 7. Well, first formation is at 7:45, so I usually get there around 7:25ish. Just to get there early. You're supposed to get there at least 15 minutes early. So I get there, and then I do my drill. We usually do height and weight. Sometimes we do the PT test, which is called the AFT. Sometimes I'm helping my sergeant with some paperwork if he needs my help. But most of the time, I'm usually just shadowing and helping other soldiers that have not been to basic training, because I have been to basic training. If they have any questions for me, I answer questions, and yeah.
And where did you attend your basic training, and what was that experience like?
So I attended Fort Jackson. They call it Relaxin' Jackson. But at first, when I did get there, I was a little nervous because it was my first time not being around my family, not being able to call my mom and the people I cared about. But when I got there, it was a completely different experience. I had to really get to know people, and that is something that I do struggle with, getting to know people. But I met some amazing people. I got to shoot a weapon, which was amazing. It was my first time shooting a weapon. I got to throw a grenade. It was fun. And I got taught really hardcore discipline, and just learning how to control my emotions in a sense. Still learning how to do that. But yeah.
And what are some things you learned throughout your experience at basic training and in the National Guard that you carry throughout the rest of your life?
Leadership mostly. I'm not really I'm a leader, but I have to be put into the position to really be the leader. I'm not gonna put myself out there. I just do what I'm supposed to do, and that's it. So they have taught me a lot about leadership, a lot about communication, and just discipline mostly. That's pretty much it, yeah.
And what piece of advice would you share to someone that's looking to take the similar path, being a student athlete in the National Guard, involved in so much? What's some advice you would share?
I would say take it one day at a time. Being in the Army, you're gonna go through hardships, and I've only been in 3 years, but I've went through a lot in my 3 years of being in the Army. Stay positive, keep a good attitude regardless of what's going on. It may get stressful, and it did. It gets stressful, but all I did was keep going, and I communicated and did what I was supposed to do, and I was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of A Closer Look.